The night was silent. Only the cold wind moved across the white Ural Mountains. But in February 1959, something unimaginable happened here. Something that would haunt Russia for decades. 9 young hikers, experienced, confident, full of life. They walked into this frozen wilderness and vanished. What investigators later discovered was not simply a tragedy. It was a mystery carved into ice. And even today, no one can fully explain what happened. This is the Dyatlov Pass Incident, a story of courage, fear, unexplained destruction, and a final night that still raises questions all around the world. The journey began with hope. A group of students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, some of the best hikers of their time. Their leader was Igor Dyatlov, smart, calm, respected by everyone. Their plan, a long skiing expedition through the Ural Mountains. A difficult path, but nothing they could not face. They were young, they were strong, and they believed that nature could be challenged with skill and discipline. Before leaving, they laughed, sang songs, and took many photographs. These were not beginners. They were professional-level trekkers. This trip was part of their certification. Nothing suggested danger. Nothing hinted at the horror waiting ahead. The first days of travel were normal. Snowstorms slowed them, but they kept moving. Step by step, they climbed higher into the mountains. The wind grew stronger, the trees disappeared, and the world turned into an endless white desert. Then, one hiker, Yuri fell ill. His health forced him to return home. He said goodbye to the team. This moment saved his life. He became the only survivor, not because he escaped something, but because something waited for the others. The remaining 9 continued the journey. They moved deeper into the wild zone. No villages, no shelters, no signs of life. Their final campsite was on the slope of a mountain called Kholat Yachal. The name in the Mansi language means Mountain of the Dead. Some say the name was spiritual, others say it was just a legend. But on that night, it became real. Investigators later found the hiker's tent. It was torn open, not from the outside, from the inside. This detail shocked everyone. Why would experienced hikers cut their own tent and run into the snow? Why would they leave warm clothes, boots, food, and equipment behind? They walked barefoot. Some wore only underwear. Whatever happened, it forced them to escape instantly. The footprints showed that they walked, not ran. It looked like they moved calmly, almost quietly, as if they were following something or someone. The trail led toward the trees. Deep in the forest, investigators found the first bodies. 2 hikers near a cedar tree. Their hands covered in bruises, like they tried to climb desperately. Their clothes were burned. A fire had been made, but it was small, too small to save them. Nearby, 3 more bodies were found. They seemed to die while crawling back toward the tent. The remaining 4 were discovered months later, buried under snow in a ravine. These hikers had shocking injuries: broken ribs, crushed skulls. One woman was missing her tongue. And yet, there were no signs of external wounds. It was as if something hit them with massive force without leaving marks. The medical examiner described some injuries as similar to a car crash, but nothing in the area could do that. No avalanche evidence, no weapons, no wildlife attacks. Everything pointed to an event that was sudden, terrifying, and powerful. Some of the hikers were discovered wearing clothes from the others. This meant they survived longer, long enough to take clothes from those who died near the cedar. They tried to fight the cold. They tried to live. But the mountain was merciless. Their final hours were filled with fear, confusion, and freezing temperatures that dropped below -30 degrees. What forced them out? What scared them so badly that they abandoned everything? There are many theories. Some said it was an avalanche, but the slope angle was wrong. The tent was still standing, and the footprints were calm. Others said it was military testing. Rockets, mines, secret weapons. The Soviet government kept silent for years. Strange radiation was found on some clothing. This deepened the mystery. Some believe the hikers saw something they should not have seen, something that forced them to run. Another idea is infrasonic panic, sound waves from wind strong enough to cause intense fear. But could that cause broken bones like a car crash? There were also stories of strange lights in the sky that night. Multiple witnesses reported glowing orange orbs above the mountains. Were they rockets or something else? Then there is the theory of a fight within the group, but the injuries were too severe to be human-caused. Or maybe something natural but rare overwhelmed them. A sudden snow collapse causing pressure like a shock wave. Some scientists believe this is the closest explanation. But even today, nothing explains everything perfectly. The truth remains trapped in snow. What we do know is this: the hikers were brave. They stayed together to the end. They fought for survival with everything they had. Their story is not just a mystery. It is a reminder of nature's power, human courage, and the thin line between life and death in the wild. Every year, people visit Dyatlov Pass to honor the 9 hikers. They walk the same path. They visit the memorial stones. They look at the mountains and imagine the final night. The silence here is heavy, as if the mountain itself remembers. The Dyatlov Pass Incident remains one of the most puzzling cold cases in history. No official explanation has ever satisfied everyone, and perhaps that is why this story feels eternal. A mystery frozen in time, a reminder that some answers hide forever, under snow. In the end, one question remains: what truly happened on that night? What did the 9 hikers see? What did they face? And why did they never return? We may never know, but their story lives on.